This is Jacklyn here from the Be Do Have movement, and I wanted to send you a touch base video and a little bit of a next step, and also give you a massive thank you for downloading the Feel Good Roadmap. So this resource, it is 4 steps to really take action and shift your state of being. So I do want to add this extra layer because it can be really impactful, and you can actually use this in so many different types of situations. So this is the overarching steps and process here, but in this video, I'm going to quickly go over when I use this, and then an extra layer so that you can really take and apply this into your life, because again, it's going to help you create that empowered state of mind so that you can take empowered actions forward. So I find this to be a helpful resource anytime that I am not operating from an energy, a frequency, or a feeling that I know is empowering. So what does that mean in the first place? Basically, when you look at this wheel of emotions, anytime that I'm operating basically in any of these bad states, fearful, angry, disgusted, and sad states, I will use this resource to shift that feeling. And the only reason why is that when we're looking at the frequency of emotions, these tend to be lower frequency emotions, which means that when we're feeling that, we're putting that out into the world, and the law of cause and effect comes into play here. So whatever we're putting out, we are actually receiving back to us. So if I'm operating in a bad state where I feel bored, where I feel overwhelmed with work, I am now going to be putting that into the universe, and it tends to be how that shows up back to me. So that could be in an interaction from somebody on a marketing team that I'm dealing with. It could be from a client coming into play. It's interesting to see how those emotions come back to you. So this is a great example of any of those showing up in your life when you want to come back to this resource. So this first step as well, before I move forward, is also figuring out a layer deeper of which emotions are truly showing up in your body. Easier to say I'm angry, sad, mad, like these initial ones up here, but taking that a level deeper and just truly giving yourself the space to reflect on what is actually showing up for you and in your life in the first place is very impactful. And you're going to want to dig deeper. So it tends to be, we recognize, we're noticing the emotions and the states in our lives that perhaps aren't serving us. Now let's expand on that. So exactly what's happening in your life. And I don't want you to just describe that initial situation that may come to mind. We're going to start there. That's a great starting point. But I'm going to ask you to dig into that a little bit deeper. So you want to reflect on this mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, what's showing up. And what might happen here is that we start with that initial point, and then when we start unpeeling and sort of like unpeeling the onion and getting to that deeper core, it could be something else. It could actually be something that you weren't aware of in the first place. We want to give ourselves that opportunity to truly reflect on what that is. So that's what we're doing in this second step here. This step, the third step, is extremely interesting because now that we have awareness about how we feel, we've dug into how this is showing up in all of our conscious areas in our being. We're now going to look at, okay, let's now rate all of the areas of our life. What was interesting for myself when I did this is I thought it was actually the finance, the career area that was triggering and just bringing up those negative emotions for me because there was some stresses I was dealing with at that time, just as an example. What actually showed up is I was neglecting my health and my personal growth categories, which was then impacting every other area of my life. So this step is also extremely impactful. What tends to happen when we go through this reflection is anger. It can be guilt, it can be sadness, and I want you to just release it. Tapping into this right now, again, the goal here is that we've dug up some stuff. We've noticed we're not feeling good. Number one, we're operating in emotions that are not raising our vibration, they're probably lowering it. We've dug into and really showcased all of the layers of what's not serving us by reflecting on our being state and exactly how these unproductive emotions are affecting us. And then we've looked at our areas of life. So what tends to happen is we're, again, pulling up some triggers as we're digging into this. So we're going to get some of those uncomfortable feelings probably through this reflection process. So together with me right now, I'm going to walk you through this quick meditation here. So wherever you're at, even if you're on a walk and I'm just in your ears at the moment, or if you're sitting down somewhere, it could be lying down, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to ask you to tune into my voice. If it's safe to shut your eyes, please do so. And if not, you can just listen. And I'm going to walk you through an activity to really help release and cut the cord to any of those emotions that are no longer serving you. So just taking a breath with me, and if it's safe to do so, again, please close your eyes. And if not, just tune in. So with a hand on my heart, a hand on your stomach, I'm going to ask you to do the same here, just to allow you to focus on your breaths. So inhaling through the nose, holding at the top here, and really heavy exhaling anything that you're carrying through your mouth here. We're going to repeat this process one more time. Inhaling through the nose. Big exhale, releasing everything through your mouth. And one more time, inhaling through the nose. And truly just allowing yourself to release and exhale through the mouth. Keeping your eyes closed here. I'm going to ask you to think about your feet right now, and just wherever you are, whether that's sitting, laying down, walking, just imagine yourself being fully grounded into the earth. Knowing that you have this stable energy beneath you, and allowing this flow to come from your feet up to your knees, over your thighs, to your hips, up your stomach, up to your chest, your heart, the stable feeling of groundedness coming through your shoulders, down your arms to your fingers. Taking a breath with me here as it fully goes up your neck, through your head, and imagining it really this flowing, stable, grounded energy coming through your head and around your whole body with a white layer of light that's just protecting you in this stable, grounded state. And then I'm going to ask you to think about the situation that was causing those unwanted emotions. Just think about anyone involved in that situation as if they were on a stage in front of you. And picturing whoever is involved in this situation, no good or bad feelings here, it just is what it is. You're picturing those people in front of you. And I'm going to repeat the Hawaiian practice for forgiveness called Ho'oponopono here, with the mantra to help forgive, release for a clean slate, thinking of those people in front of you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. With a deep breath here, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. One more deep breath here. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And now we're going to picture just cutting a cord attached to all of these people on the stage with you and just letting it go as if it was a balloon that you were just releasing. Taking a deep breath with me here. And allowing yourself to just come back to the room, noticing your feet planted wherever they are, and then opening your eyes to join me back here. And this exercise is a great resource. I would highly recommend bookmarking in your inbox, because you can come back to this anytime you want to practice this act of forgiveness. You can repeat this mantra to yourself if you're live in a moment and you notice yourself feeling any anger or resentment towards someone else. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. We don't have to receive what everyone else is giving in this world. And we have the opportunity to release those cords and those energies whenever we want to. And the final step in this process, after we've done this now meditative release where we've energetically created a clean slate from this situation. We're going to go back to what you wrote down on page 4 of this exercise, where you went into the situation, what was happening physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And I'm going to actually get you to take that piece of paper, whether you did it in the workbook or on a plain piece of paper here. The most important step of this process is you are going to take that paper. You're either going to shred it into small pieces, or you're actually going to burn the document, the paper. And if you do this live, if there's something going on in your world, please respond to this email and let me know how this goes. Because it's a very therapeutic practice to let things go like this, and to know that you do not have to hold on to situations that are not serving you, people that aren't serving you, and places that aren't serving you. I like to always say that we are not trees. We have the power to move and shift, and we are not rooted into any exact situation as human beings. It's a very empowering mindset to know that you can change whenever you want to. You can become the person you're desiring to be. Change is always, always, always possible. And the last step for this is practice. When we talk about being, we want to move away from that act of doing, right? And what I mean by that is doing is, I'm going to do this once and then I'm supposed to be healed and good to go. And to get into that being state, it has to be behaviors that you practice consistently to step into the dreams, the desires, the person that you want to become. So use this tool, go back to this as many times as possible. Please tag me at the Be Do Have Movement. And I look forward to hearing your feedback. Respond to this email. Let me know how this worked for you. And if you're looking for a step to take next, I invite you to look into the life coaching services. I'm going to have a couple emails coming your way. And the next one's going to be a gift coming to you. And it's another meditation practice that I find extremely helpful to prime my state in situations. So I do want to share that resource with you next. And then from there, I'm going to share as well a few service options. If you're looking to explore breakthroughs in your life and just figure out what that next level is for yourself, there is a few opportunities and openings coming up. So I would love to share those with you first. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. And as always, I'm just an email away.